morning. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Obadiah, and such a nice privilege to have you here at this time of the day. Um, gives me pleasure to have a continuation of our last teaching, which we are talking about relationship misconceptions. And I would summarize from our last teaching and we'll conclude on that series today. I also have on my table here these items that I'm using to illustrate my points for clarity so that it drives home the point of knowing that having a misconception about relationship has a way of having a negative impact in your life as well. Um, Also, I want to use this privilege to um, celebrate a very dear person in my life, a person of Agnes. I call her Sugar. She's my wife. Today is her birthday, and I want to say thank you very much for the love, the understanding, the care, everything you've been doing so well for my life and for the life of our daughter. And I want to say thank you. God bless you. And I want to say I'm proud to be your husband. It gives me great pleasure to serve in this capacity as a husband and a father. Thank you very much. I love you. So, back to our teaching this morning, relationship misconception. Um, People could have wrong misconceptions about relationships, and they actually think a relationship would be better for them. In our last teaching, I was talking about misconception, and I gave some examples and give some points on preparing yourself before getting into the relationship. So I'll be giving this illustration once more to for clarity, then I'll explain my point all through. In a few minutes I'll drive home the point where we can actually understand that you need a better understanding. You need a form of knowledge base before going into a relationship. You need a form of awareness. You need to know some certain things. It is like knowing how to drive a car. It's like knowing the rules of the road. Most people think just because you are in love with a person, that is all. It is more than just that. For instance, if I say I love Mercedes Benz and I love to drive, and I love to drive, my love for that car will not be able to make it move from where it is parked to the intended destination. It takes knowledge for me to know the rules of the road, to know how to drive, when to apply brakes, when to apply acceleration, when to use the wiper and other navigation buttons on the dashboard, how to use my steering, how to be driving safe and be safe for other drivers on the highway. It takes more than love to have a very strong marriage. You need knowledge. That's why those who are not married, or those who are married watching this video, you need to understand that you need to give yourself some form of value. You need to give yourself some form of knowledge, because love cannot actually keep a relationship together. I have seen people who have been divorced, and you ask them questions: why are you leaving this person? Don't you love this person? You hear statements like, I love this person, but I cannot live with them. Love was never the problem. In fact, love was always present, but there was something that was always missing. It is knowledge. Knowledge will make you understand that you have to apply the right amount of love to that person, understanding the person's love language and applying where the person needs love. Like I was giving the illustration of a car, it takes knowledge to know that there are different compartments in a car. There's a compartment that takes in water, and there's a compartment that takes in oil, and there's a compartment that takes in fuel. It is because of knowledge we are able to understand that each compartment or each hose have their own purpose and is designed and designated. I don't know if we are following. It is not love that will make me go to my fuel, the hole I'm supposed to put fuel and put water in there. No matter how much I love that car will not move. I don't know if you are getting it. So let me do the illustration this time. Okay, for instance, This is the relationship. This one, this is, I'll call it specimen A, this is specimen B, and this is C. So, for instance, this is the lady that is here in this glass cup. Let's put it halfway, and this is the other, this is specimen A, which is the relationship. It's actually empty. Like I said in our last class, I said a relationship by itself cannot work. It takes people to make relationship work. it takes it's like a car, like I just said. It takes people to make it work. Relationship by itself cannot work. Many people think relationship, oh, once I'm in a relation, once I get married, I'll do this, I'll stop doing this. No, the thing is, if you can decide to stop some things, if you decide to um, improve on some habits that you are not proud of, it's a plus for you when you are getting married. Some people say, when I get married, I'll do this, I want this, I want this. A relationship, a kingdom relationship, is not centered on what to get out of a relationship, it is what to give. Kingdom people go into relationship to serve and to give. They go with the best of themselves, they go in full, they go in whole. They are not going with the need of saying, I must be with somebody to be happy. I don't know if we are getting this point. Okay, this is the person. Okay, let me just say this water is the guy, this is the lady, or whichever. These are two individuals, and this is the relationship. If, for instance, this person is coming to a relationship with some certain amount of themselves and is being poured here, okay, and this person coming into the relationship brings himself or herself and pour into this glass cup, you will discover that it is full. And when we want to define this as a relationship, for instance, we'll say this is a glass of water. Before it was empty, but now that people are in the relationship, they give it a definition. So many people are in a hurry to be with people they have not actually spent time to be with themselves. So many people think happiness is derived from being with somebody. No. Some people think that a relationship can meet all your emotional needs. It is not true. Been married for a while, and I'll tell you, there are days when you don't feel happy, there are days where you feel down, and what do? You always know that there's a certain level that the person you are married to can make you happy. The rest is derived from God, and you know that that person you are married to will not meet all your emotional needs. Like I said in a book I read, by Dr. and Leslie Parrott. The title of the book is Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts. The psychology defined frustrations in marriage. He said frustrations in marriage happens when people fail to realize that they are dealing with a human being. So when going into a relationship, you are going with the best of yourself. You cannot go this empty and say, I want to go into a relationship without bringing anything. Kingdom people should know that going into a relationship is to serve. I'm going to give the best of myself. I'm in this. I'm saying, this lady, I know her dream. I know what she wants to be. I'm going to be a building block for her to become the person God wants her to be. Same as this lady saying, this man I want to be with, I am going to be a building block onto his dream. I'm going to be his number one supporter. I'm going to be his number one advantage. That's why when kingdom people get married, the people they marry to become their biggest advantage. For instance, in my own case, being married to my wife, I understand there were things about me that wasn't too okay, especially my finances. And getting married to her became a plus because she was able to manage the finances, and she had managerial skills with finances. Even though she read accounting, it was a plus for me because I had issues understanding numbers. I had issues with savings, investments, and other things. But she coming into the picture created a balance. We were able to know who manages the funds in the home. how funds are being disbursed, where is the next target plan, and we are moving from one to another. And also, there are also things that she struggled with that I was able to help with. For instance, she noticed that I love to read books and everything, so she was finding it difficult to develop a good reading habit. So after I gave her some tips on how to read, I gave her some points on how to develop a good reading habit, and over time she created the habit of reading that she loves to read now. She can actually pick up a book and read, but before it was not actually that. So this is what we are talking about when we are coming in play. We are bringing the best of ourselves. We are complementing each other. We are knowing we are full going into this relationship. We are not going halfway. We are going to give the best of ourselves. We are bringing everything about us into, and the end product is making the other person better, and the goal is defining the relationship. I don't know if we are getting this point very well. So some of the things this misconception has a way of is that our society has given young people or people definitions on how relationships to be. That's why you see a lady this day, you ask her, what kind of guy do you want to settle with? Tell you rich, dark, tall, handsome. And the question I'm asking, how are you going to make this clear life better? And most times I don't get the response. Be like, I want to marry somebody that can take care of me. And I'm asking the question, aren't you going to take care of the other person? This neediness of going into a relationship, most people are in love with the idea of relationship and marriage, not the person. Most people are in love with the fantasy of being in a relationship, but they normally get frustrated when it's about the work itself. Relationship is tough work. Relationship is giving. Relationship is building. So most times we find it difficult because we have gone into relationship with the mindset of getting and not giving. We have gone into relationship not to serve but to be served. So that's why when there are issues, when there are frictions, the only thing people think about is to use the exit. Relationships don't have autocorrect buttons. If there are flaws in your life that you need to tackle, that you need to change, I think the best time to work on it is now. I think the best time for you to understand that this is the time I need to be better, not for the other person but for myself also. I need to understand that I am I am unique, I am special, I am different. We are all coming from different backgrounds, different upbringing. For instance, I use myself. I am a northerner. My parents are from the north. My wife, she is from the Niger Delta State precisely. So if you see the disparity between both tribes, upbringing, and you see we are coming from different spheres of life. We have different upbringing, different language, different style, different character, and how do we mend everything to move smooth? Somebody said, understanding is the grease that prevents friction in relationships and marriage. You need understanding. You need to live with understanding. The understanding I'm talking about is helping, complementing. There are days when my wife doesn't feel okay, I stand in the gap and cook. I do the other chores. It doesn't make me less of a person. It only makes me feel I am there to help out. I am there to be a helpmeet. This is how kingdom people get married. This is how kingdom people should serve in marriages. I don't know if we get all this. There are so many examples. You see, most people, we do the chores together. We do everything. It's a team something. Okay, finally, I'll wrap up with this example. While I was in the Navy, I learned something very crucial. Um, Navy, when we're on board ship, our vessels, there are different compartments in a ship. If you look at the superstructure of the ship, where you see the captains in like in normal ship settings, if you know what I'm talking about, you see where the captain, you see the navigation board, you see the communication department, everything at the top, all those gadgets for communication and detection and navigation and everything is at the top. But there is actually a part of the ship where you don't see that they do the tough work. It's this is the substructure of the ship. That's the below the water line of the ship. In ships you see something like marks on it. There's a compartment in the ship where engineers are. They are responsible for making sure the engine doesn't overheat. They are making sure the water and the fuel level of the ship is okay. They make sure every working mechanism that makes the ship move all through the sailing period till it gets to harbor, everything is moving well. And you don't see these people. They are behind the scene making sure everything is working, everything is smooth. And this understanding about ship has made me to understand that in marriage there are actually things that are being done behind the scene that people don't get to see. People just see the pictures, people just see the gallery, people get carried away. Oh wow, wow, we want to have a relationship like, but relationship is tough work. So taking it back to that ship, you see that the engineers are there, they get dirty, they make sure the sewage is clear, they make sure water and everything, they prevent ingress from entering the ship, and the sail is smooth. And there's also a department that you don't see too, the people in the galley. In normal settings you call it kitchen. The galley, that place is where the food is prepared, and everyone is doing their job and making sure the ship sails properly. It is not because in a ship the captain is the most important person, no. And the engineers doing the dirty work doesn't mean they are the least. It means everyone is doing their bit to make sure the ship moves and the ship doesn't go aground. What I mean by aground is that it doesn't runs to a halt, or it doesn't sink. That's the terminology in marine. Go aground, and they make sure the sailing is smooth from where it's going to till it gets to harbor. So with these few points, I want us to understand that you can be better for the next person. You can improve, you can change, you can be better. It is not to be in a hurry to be with someone. Have you actually spent time with yourself? Have you actually sat down to think that I want to contribute in the life of this person? How can I do it? It's time for you to sit back and think, do a rethink on all this, and always know you can be better. I'll stop for today and concluded the relationship misconception. This is the part 2, and I want you to understand you can be better. So see you in my next video, but before then, please share, subscribe, and like this video. Share to those you love, and send in your comments, your questions. I'll be very glad to attend to all of them. I remain your friend Obadiah. See you in my next video. Thank you very much, and please drink water. It's healthy.